There's a moment in every leader's journey when passion, which once felt like fuel, begins to drift untethered from reality. It's subtle at first. You're driven, inspired, convinced you're carrying a vision that will change everything. And in many ways, that passion is a gift. Organizations long for leaders with a deep and authentic passion for the mission, a fierce advocate for the organization. But passion without wisdom has a way of turning from inspiration into burden, both for the leader and for the people they serve. I want to talk about that drift, the moment when idealism becomes ungrounded, when a leader stops listening, stops learning, and begins to believe their conviction alone is enough, when they begin to believe their own press. I call this the wisdom gap, and it's one of the most covert leadership failures because it masquerades as strength. It looks like confidence, clarity, even courage. But underneath, it's a refusal to reckon with reality, with people, or with the organization itself. It becomes a failure to reckon with the world, with discernment and sober-mindedness. The story of Don Quixote captures this beautifully. He charges at windmills believing that they're giants, convinced he's on a divine mission. His intentions are noble, but his inability to see the world as it truly is makes him his own worst enemy. It makes him a fool. Leaders do this more often than we admit. We charge at giants that aren't giants. We spiritualize our preferences. We sanctify our assumptions. We confuse our certainty with God's voice. And the antidote is humility. Wisdom is the currency of humility. Humility is not self-doubt, it's self-awareness. It's the willingness to admit that what we don't know is far greater than what we do. It's the courage to ask for help, to seek counsel, to learn from people who see what we cannot. This is where the zone of proximal development becomes such a powerful metaphor. Just as children grow when a more knowledgeable other helps bridge the gap between what they know and what they don't, leaders grow when they allow themselves to be taught. Learning is the key to being undeceived, as historian John Dixon says. But learning requires humility, the willingness to be wrong, to be shaped, to be formed. The wisdom gap closes when leaders stop pretending they already know and start embracing the posture of a learner. When they listen deeply, when they confess freely, when they discern in community, when they hold plans lightly but purpose firmly, when they allow the Spirit of God to say things they don't want to hear. Idealism is beautiful, but idealism without humility becomes delusion. And humility, practiced consistently, becomes wisdom, the kind that strengthens teams, honors people, and keeps leaders grounded in reality rather than fantasy.